Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Hillier, and I'm the 8th grade English teacher on the Blizzard team. Thank you for watching this video in place of a November in-person meeting. Please watch the video with your 8th grader all the way through so both of you are informed about what happens next in the DC trip planning process. As you navigate through this video, each slide's background shows some of the awesome sights that we will be seeing in just 7 short months. The registration process went smoothly with lots of interest from 8th grade students. We currently have 100 confirmed students for the trip and 9 waitlisted students. This means that once we arrive in DC, we will have 2 full motor coach buses to travel in. Over the course of the next few months, I will be working on flight arrangements, hotel arrangements, and any other ticketed events on our itinerary. The behind the scenes work is a lot of fun as we plan an amazing and unforgettable experience for your child. As of today, New York is still off of the itinerary, but we continue to monitor the regulations and restrictions to see if there are any changes. With 100 confirmed students, we will have 8 CMS teacher chaperones, which gives us around a 1 to 12 ratio of teacher to students. It is a perfect size small group to navigate in and around our itinerary sites. As of today, no parent has volunteered or mentioned that they want to run a fundraiser, so it doesn't look like we will have one before the winter break or the holidays. We can always do a fundraiser after the first of the year, so if any parents are interested, please let me know. Communication is key prior to and while we are on the trip. I have a couple platforms to communicate with parents and students. For parents, I can communicate with you by mass email to the entire group, the Remind Text group, which I will talk about shortly, and the CMS Trip website on Shutterfly. To communicate with students, I can do announcements and handouts at school, and we also have the Remind Text group, which we'll talk about shortly. If you need or want to get a hold of me, my email is on the screen. I check the school Gmail frequently throughout the day. The Remind Text is a great communication platform that we will use for parents and students. It is safe, user-friendly, and convenient. Phone numbers stay private, and standard data rates apply. Parents will want to join the parent text group just in case there are flight delays flying out or back into Minneapolis, and we can keep you informed. Students will want to join the student text group so we can communicate with you while we are on the trip. So, after hearing the instructions, if you want to go ahead and pause the video to sign up, it takes about 15 seconds to do this. On the screen, this is what parents will do. Please text 81010 with the following code at 7, F as in Frank, G as in George, B as in boy, 9, A as in apple. Be sure to do the at symbol, otherwise it won't work. Text messages from me will come into your text message on your phone. If you want to get the Remind Text app on your phone, you certainly can, but it is not required because these messages will come into your text area. If I text something out to the entire group and you want to text me back with a question, you can do that, and I'm the only one that sees that question. It does not go to the large group. Now, students are going to sign up using the same format except with a different code. If you want to pause the video to have them sign up, that would be great. Students will text 81010 with the following code at 64, D as in David, 8, A as in apple, 6, A as in apple. Be sure to do the at symbol, students, so that you can get into that text group. For both the parents and the students, once you hit submit or send, you will get a message back telling you that you are now in the DC parent group or the DC student group. The week of November 7th, your child will bring home a manila envelope with 2 packets in it. The first packet has an introductory letter, a CMS confirmed roster list, and 4 different forms that need to be completed and brought back to me by Tuesday, November 16th. The second packet consists of a suggested packing list and frequently asked questions from parents and students with answers. Families can keep packet number 2 at home. If somehow the manila envelope gets misplaced, the 2 packets will be emailed to parents electronically as well, and they will also be uploaded to the TRIP website. The following will highlight some key points of the forms. So Packet 1, Page 1 is an introductory letter that gives you some valuable information on when the forms are due, how to be specific and detailed, what happens next, and then the last mandatory TRIP meeting date. You can read through this Page 1 on your own. Packet 1, Page 2 simply has the confirmed CMS student roster with all of the names listed in alphabetical order by last name. You will also notice that the waitlisted students are not on this form. Packet 1, Page 3, this is the student information form. T-shirt sizing will be done at school, so you don't have to fill that part in. The rooming section is very important to complete. Your child will need to put down 3 students they would like to room with in order of preference. Remember from the September presentation and video that I did, I will try to do my best to give each student at least one person from their wait list. It is important to make everybody feel comfortable and included on this trip. And there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to rooming students. Students need to remember that we are not in our hotel rooms very long at all, only to put our head down on the pillow and get a little sleep before the next busy day. Your child can also check the box that they don't care who they're roomed with. Just a reminder that students cannot put waitlisted student names down because we're not sure if they will clear from the waitlist or not. If you paid for an upgrade to a double or a triple room, please put that in the margin and who the other students are that also did that. Families that paid for the upgrade will be honored with that request and only have those students in that room. If you remember from the fall presentation, upgrading rooms was allowed from October 5th through October 29th only. That option is now closed. And the bottom of that form is our media release form, which allows chaperones to take pictures of your child either individually or in a group. Pages 4, 5, and 6 are the medical forms. These forms are probably the most important for the chaperone staff so that we can take care of your child on this trip. While we appreciate students wanting to help parents fill out these forms, the medical form is one that we ask parents to complete so that it is accurate, legible, and thorough. It is very important to be honest and thorough on these forms, even if you don't think the information is relevant or necessary, or it's a medical condition that happened a long time ago. You just never know. The more information we have, the better. A few key points is to remember is it is important for us to know if your child takes daily medication, how much, the name of it, and if you want a chaperone to administer the medication or if the child takes it on its own. It is important for us to know food sensitivity and allergies. The questionnaire is pretty self-explanatory, and the last section of the 3rd page is just reconfirming that you know how COVID works prior to the trip. This form is the trip expectation form. Please take time to read through all the I understand statements with your child. Have them initial each line, and then both you and your child will sign the bottom. I'm a strong believer that agreements prevent disagreements, so we want to make sure students know what they are signing rather than just blindly agreeing to something. The next and last form is the Code of Conduct form. This form is also very important and has actually evolved over the years, as some of these things on this form have actually happened on our trips. And we want to make sure that everyone knows our expectations and consequences. Because these are very important and can make or break a student's experience, I will just quickly highlight each statement. I will respect teacher chaperones, tour guides, airport security, and security guards at the hotel at all times. I understand once I'm through security at the airport, I will go directly to the gate of departure with my group and will not go back out through security. I understand inappropriate action, such as bringing, purchasing, or using drugs, alcohol, e-cigs, vape pens, Juul, etc., at any point during the trip will result in immediate dismissal from the trip and that you'll be sent home at your parents' or guardian's expense. I understand that shoplifting is an inappropriate action and will result in an immediate dismissal from the trip, and you will be sent home at your parent or guardian's expense. I agree to use my technology devices, cell phones, iPads, smartwatch, etc., appropriately at all times. This also includes when I am not under direct supervision of a chaperone, such as in the hotel room at night. For the duration of the trip, so from drop off on June 13th to pick up on June 17th, I understand that I'm not allowed to take and or post inappropriate or disrespectful pictures of myself, friends, or strangers on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, etc. during the entire trip. This includes at museums, memorial sites, on the bus, in the hotel room, etc. Chaperones will have the right to confiscate and hold on to devices for the remainder of the trip if this occurs. Depending on severity, immediate dismissal from the trip may occur. I understand that I will not be on my cell phone talking or texting while I am crossing streets, intersections, getting on and off the bus or subway, walking along areas that have sights to see or observe, while chaperones, tour guides, bus drivers are talking and directions are being given. With that said, we have amazing students at CMS, and 99% of the time, students are doing exactly what they should be doing. We appreciate their great behavior and their excitement to make the trip fun for everyone. Now on to packet number 2. Packet number 2, you will get to keep this packet at home and can look through it at your leisure. I just want to highlight a few things. The first page of this packet is the suggested packing list. The biggest things off of this list are comfortable shoes. We do a ton of walking, so make sure that they do have comfortable shoes. Souvenir money, and it's difficult to kind of know how much to bring. It really depends on what your student wants to buy. $1 bills to buy bottled water on the bus, or bring a refillable water bottle with them. And then any of the over-the-counter items mentioned on the list. The buses do have small emergency kits with things like gauze and Band-Aids, but it is helpful if students bring their own Advil, Tylenol, Dramamine, Tums, tampons and pads, Gold Bond for any chafing, because we do a lot of walking. Packet 2, page 2, 3, and 4 of this packet, these are frequently asked questions by parents. A few that I want to highlight are question number 2. Can my child use their frequent flyer miles for the airline ticket, and can they accumulate miles? Unfortunately, no. In regards to accumulating miles for the trip, usually the airlines we travel on do not allow students to accumulate miles because it's a reduced group rate ticket. One of the other questions I want to highlight is number 4. How many bags can my child bring? They will be getting a School Tours of America cinch cord backpack, which we suggest they use as their travel bag with the essentials that they'll need each day on the coach bus, like snacks, bottled water, money, etc. Students can also bring a larger backpack if they want to carry their items on the airplane. Students usually pack a suitcase for their clothing, shoes, etc. If we are flying Southwest, all students will be checking their suitcase for free. If we fly Delta, American, United, students will have the choice to check a bag for a fee or bring a carry-on. One of the other questions I want to highlight is question 5. How much money should my child bring? This is really up to the individual family. All of your child's needs like food, hotel, tickets will be taken care of. Extra money would be for bottled water, snacks they might want to buy on the trip, and or souvenirs. The best thing to do is to have a conversation with your child and ask them what they want to buy. It is typical for students to bring anywhere from $25 to $75. And the other question I want to address is question 15. Will the teacher chaperones give my child instructions on where to go and when to meet back with the group? Absolutely. But it is very important that they listen to the instructions that they are given at all times and at every location. They will want to be aware of their surroundings, pay attention to group announcements, group texts, Always be with a buddy, and before they break away from the group to explore, they need to know the meeting time, the location, how and where to come back to the large group. The teachers will give clear instructions on what to do, and it is their job to pay attention to those specific instructions. It may be helpful to reinforce this talking point at home. And then the last parent question that I want to address, you can certainly look at the other ones on your own, is number 17. Will my child see homeless people in DC? And if so, can they give monetary donations to the homeless? Lakeville is a very giving community, and we have many students who have generous hearts that want to help homeless people. In this case, though, we ask that students do not engage with homeless people or give any money to them. Instead, if their heart is moved to help, when they return to Lakeville, they can talk with you as their parent about a way that they can donate money or time to a local organization or charity. It may be helpful to reinforce this talking point at home. Now, packet 2, page 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9 are all frequently asked questions by students. A few of the ones that I want to highlight are question number 5. It says, will I ever go anywhere alone? Absolutely not. You will always travel in pairs or packs no matter where you go. This includes the bathroom at restaurants. We will incorporate the buddy system from the first moment that the trip starts to the very, very end. The next question I want to highlight is number 6. Do I really have to wear the School Tours of America lanyard all the time? Yes. This lets us know that you are a part of our group, and it also has an emergency number printed on the card in case you need that. They should be worn daily where they are easily seen. The lanyard can't be in your pocket or underneath your shirt. It must be visible at all times. If you lose your lanyard, please let a chaperone know immediately and we will get you a new one. The next question I want to highlight is number 11. Do I need to wear the DC CMS customized t-shirt every day? No, only on the first day. This will allow us to identify our group at the airport, and you can certainly wear it any other day if you wish, but you don't have to. The next question I want to highlight is number 17. Will I get to sit by my friend on the airplane? This is oftentimes one of the most popular questions asked. If we fly on Delta, American, or United, you will need to sit in the seat that is assigned to you on your boarding pass. The flight is very short, and it is fun to talk with someone new or catch a few Z's so you are well rested when we arrive. If we fly Southwest, the boarding process is a bit different, and you will most likely get to sit by your friend. If we fly Southwest prior to the boarding, we will ask everyone to get in a big, long line to get on the airplane. The person to your left and the person to your right in that line would be the people that you would want to sit by. When we board the plane, we will ask that you go all the way to the back and fill the plane from back to front. Sometimes you and your friend may be split by a row, but that is okay. The flight is not that long, and you can't hold seats on the plane when you board because it holds up the boarding process. The next question that I want to highlight is question 28. And that one says, does our small group of 8 to 10 people always have to hang around our adult teacher chaperone? No, there are times when you'll be able to wander through a museum with a small group of friends, and you will meet back up with our large group at a certain time. During certain times, we will conduct a head count to make sure everyone has returned, and it will be necessary for you to go to your small group chaperone at that time so we can count heads quickly and then move on to our next facility. This will become easy and a habit after day 1. You will have a number assigned to you, and when we yell out count off, students follow suit by yelling out their number in sequence. It is a quick and easy way to check that everyone is there. This will also become a habit and a fun way to keep track of everybody. The next question I want to highlight is number 32. Is this trip going to be exhausting? Everyone talks about how tired I will be. Is this true? Yes, it's absolutely true. We will have a lot of fun, but we do try to squeeze in as much as we can in the 5 days. So you get a fantastic glimpse of DC and possibly want to go back again someday. When you head back to your hotel room in the evening, it will be in your best interest to get as much sleep as you can before the next busy day. When we ride long distances on the bus, feel free to catch some Z's as long as we aren't giving instructions or someone is on the microphone. Just think of it this way: you will have lots of time to catch up on sleep when you return home. Remember, your parents have spent a lot of money for you to go on this trip, and you want to get the most out of the trip by seeing as much as you possibly can. Enjoy the sights and the time with your friends, and think about sleep later. The next question I want to address is number 34. Will I be required to wear a mask? Depending on what the pandemic looks like in June of 2022, there may still be a mask requirement for flights, buses, and various buildings and events. If that's the case, we were going to have all students be required to wear a mask. We will follow the local masking requirements of whatever DC has. And the last question I want to address is number 36. When we arrive in DC, are we going to start touring right away that day? Absolutely. We usually take an early morning flight out of Minneapolis, and we want to make the most of our time in DC. So when we land, we catch a quick lunch first and then start sightseeing right away. All of the other questions that I didn't address specifically, you can certainly read through those on your own time for both parents and students. Here's some tentatively planned sites for our itinerary. You can see we do a lot. So this first one is all of the memorials and monuments that we see. Here are some additional tentatively planned sites that we're going to be seeing, and I'm super excited. The Spy Museum is brand new, and we will be adding that to our itinerary this year. And then the last slide in regards to our tentatively planned memorials and sites. Here, we are adding a couple new ones this year as well: the Quantico Marine Base and the Thomas Jefferson Monticello Estate. And then the Major League Baseball game, we're either going to do Orioles or Nationals, depending on who is in town. After the forms are all handed in, what happens next? This is a great question. Basically, your job is easy from here on out. Just continue to make the payments on your child's account. Both parents and students should sign up for the Remind text group as mentioned at the beginning of this presentation. Parents should create a free Shutterfly account. Students continue to make good choices in and out of school as not to jeopardize your ability to participate in this trip. Both parents and students mark your calendar for the last and mandatory trip meeting in May. Our trip website looks like this. It is on Shutterfly. You can use the link on the screen or scan the QR code to get to the site. The site will house all of our information: handouts, forms, presentations, video links, etc. It is a great one-stop shop for the trip. You can visit this site and see all the information without having to have a Shutterfly account. If you want to be able to have access to the trip photos when we come back, then you'll want to create an actual Shutterfly account of your own. How do you go about doing that, and how do you go about accessing the photos when we return? You just have to set up your own free Shutterfly account, parents, then go to our trip website and request to be a member. Once I receive your request and it's been accepted, you will have access to the photos when we come home from the trip. If you look at the top bar on the website, you're going to see the home button, then the pictures and video button, and the calendar button. If you aren't a member of the site, you can see everything on this page and click on the links and get access to all the forms and the handouts and the videos, etc. But you will need to be a member in order to access the photos once we return from the trip. When photos are uploaded, it looks like this. You will have access to download them and use them as you wish to create a scrapbook or any sort of memorial for the trip. The pictures are stored on the website for about 6 months after the trip, then they're taken down. Keep in mind that your child will be able to take pictures of their own on their cell phone as well. The pictures that the chaperones will take will be large group photos and individual photos too. If you don't see a lot of pictures in the Shutterfly picture section, it may be because your child didn't want to have their individual or small group photo taken that day. So it's best to talk with them about that at home. Our last mandatory trip meeting will be on Tuesday, May 31st at CMS at 6:30 p.m. to 7:45 p.m. This is a very important meeting that at least one parent and the student needs to attend. I realize that everyone has busy schedules at the end of the school year, but we take this meeting very seriously, and they will be getting their rooming assignments, their small group chaperone, their travel documents, bag tags, backpack, t-shirts, airport boarding procedures, etc. Thank you for marking your calendar to attend. All forms are due to me by Tuesday, November 16th. Your child can simply put the completed forms back in the manila envelope and give that envelope to me at school. Because there can be confidential medical information on the forms, it is great to use that envelope. I thank you in advance for returning the forms to me on time so that you don't hold the next steps in the planning process for me. There's a lot of work done behind the scenes between November and May. So if you can have them returned on or before November 16th, that would be fantastic. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me at any time. I am here to help. Thanks for watching this video with your child and completing the forms. Enjoy your November, and I'm excited to create a lifelong memory for your child. Thank you for giving them this fantastic opportunity. Bye.